Quick question here from Ty Schmidt, Shams.
Yeah, Shams, do you have any update on the John Morant situation after the whole, he posts bye on Instagram and then the cops show up, for a welfare check? That seems kind of weird. Is everything okay with him? Do we have any update on what kind of suspension he's looking at next year? What's going on with Ja right now?
Yeah, I think the first things first, we hope Ja Morant is good. He posts those pictures of his family and then he posts bye. I mean, definitely, you have to look at that. When I first saw it, I only saw the last message and I'm like, oh, did a suspension happen? Did something come down? And then you see the string of posts and yeah, I mean, that's fairly alarming. And the cops did go and check on him.
Is that normal? So what's that? What? So is that normal?
I think just given everything that's happened, I guess. I mean, maybe it's because he's a public figure. I don't know how normal it is or not.
How much more shit do the cops know that they see that we don't know? That an Instagram post happens and everybody's just like, the cops one did a welfare check, he's good, and everybody's like, yeah, that's just normal. I've never.
Did someone call them?
I don't think I've ever.
This is new to me.
Yeah, I've never heard just cops see a social media post and they're like, you know what?
Let's go and make sure he's all right.
Let's go see if you guys are okay. I like if that's happening, but is there more that we don't know that has just become something that everybody's like, yeah, this is just how this goes. That's an interesting development, I think.
Yeah, I think just how public the situation has been for the last several months. I mean, this isn't the first time, the police there in Memphis has been involved with something involving Ja Morant. So maybe their antennas are up. You're right.
What did he do? What did he do?
We're assuming.
What did the cops get involved? Because it was in Colorado. He was at that adult ballet.
That's right.
And he was thunderstorming.
Yeah, he was living.
You know what I mean?
Big wet butts.
Yeah.
It was a monsoon in there. It was a monsoon.
Yeah.
Reckless. Absolutely reckless.
But why are you on social media? Why, and especially 2 months after that situation?
But have the Memphis police been involved in anything? Because remember, this is we think it's a terrible thing. We want to let you know, we are not happy that Ja Morant is flashing guns on Instagram Lives. Hey, stop fucking doing it, all right? You are not afforded the same freedoms as everybody else. When you signed to play in an association, in a league, you are somebody now. Just stop fucking doing it. That is how we feel. It's just stupid for you to continue to do this. It's reckless. I think any gun owner, and I know there was a lot of people that are like, well, technically he didn't break any law, and if they're going to try to attack our gun rights and everything like that, it's like actual gun owners don't love how reckless that fucking gun is too, because you give a bad name to gun owners whenever you're just doing this, dancing with it in the middle of a car, aiming it at who knows what knows. So there's stupid that it happened. But if the police been involved, maybe, I don't know. The police are very involved in this situation, so much so that an Instagram post is like, we need to stop at his house.
There have been a couple instances the last year or so. I mean, there was one incident with Ja Morant and a high school prospect where him and a friend physically.
But that's different than a tweet.
No, I agree. But this is a relationship with the Memphis police. I think is what you're trying. What happened? I don't think I remember this.
I think there's been different involvements with the police there that have been involved in a couple different situations. There was a mall incident as well. There have been a couple times where they've been alerted.
Flashing your gun. Okay.
But again, I assume a lot of it is because public figure, everything that's happened in the last 3 months. He flashed a gun a couple months ago. He flashed it again recently. The NBA is investigating. The Denver police investigated prior. And again, like I talked about, I think before, there was no law that was broken in this situation that happened in the last couple weeks. There was no law that was broken in Denver. But I think the law of morality, every NBA contract has a morality clause. The conduct that's detrimental or not detrimental to the league, there are clauses for that in a contract, and the league is able to suspend you. And so I will say this, from everything I'm told, the NBA, which has been investigating, they're closer to the end of the investigation than the beginning. And I do expect a decision on Ja Morant and a potential suspension will be coming down soon. I don't know exactly when, but I would expect it to be sooner than later. But thankfully, like I said at the top, thankfully there was no crisis here. No one was hurt. Ja Morant, there's nothing serious that's going on with Ja Morant. He told the police that he's just taking a break from social media.
I'm done with
now. Pat, if you're leaving social media, are you posting your family and then a picture saying bye? I mean, maybe you're just that sentimental with Instagram.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I honestly don't know either, and we all hope Ja figures it the fuck out. Okay?
Yeah.
Can't be.
I think everyone wants the best for Ja. Everyone wants him to succeed. Everyone wants him to do what he does on the court. I mean, just as basketball fans, we want to see him do what he does. And as a person, everything I've heard of him as a person, good person. But I think thankfully the league, I think, and the police have checked in, and he's doing fine.
Well, and to your point there, like, shout out to the cops too, just being like, hey, everything all right?
Yeah.
And then being like, all right, I'll see you later then. You know, and like that's a cool thing. You would hope that at some point in every community, which is going to be a long time, but we can hope for it, that is how it operates.
Yes.
Like, hey, that is how people who choose to protect and serve a community have a relationship with said community. And it's just like, yeah, hey, is everything okay? Cool. We'll be on our way out of here. But whenever it was just like understood, like, yeah, cops went over, I was like, I must be missing stuff. I didn't know he fought a high school. You say he like fought a high school guy?
I thought he punched a high school kid in the face.
And then a mall incident. I didn't know about any of these things. And so then you start thinking about Adam Silver, who's like, hey, Bob, can we please?
Yeah.
Can we how many more you think? Like, this is it, right, for Ja, we'd assume?
Yeah.
Well, this will result potentially. So he got 8 games, and I think when that 8-game suspension happened, I think everyone kind of thought that was light. And so if that's the perception around the league. And so now you meet with Adam Silver, you tell Adam Silver, it's not going to happen again. I've learned from it. I've learned from the past. You do an interview, you kind of say the same things publicly, and when the media asks you, and then 2 months later it happens again. And assuming everything checks out in the investigation, the gun was his. Obviously, that was him in the video, which clearly was. I think
I like that Adam Silver said grainy video.
Yeah, not sure.
Just for any future litigation.
8 games the first time. How much is it going to be the second time? I mean, it's like you do the same thing again. I mean, do you double up? Do you give him just a little bit more? Do you go like hammer down and give him half a year or a full season?
30.
I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer. I think anything will come with some criticism. I think either way. If you give him the full year, it's like it's too much because he didn't break any laws. If you give him half the year, could be too much. Maybe you just give him double and then you add a few. Like, there's no right answer. Adam Silver's one guy.
He's getting 50 plus.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a big one just because of how big the story has become. And I didn't know that there was previous situations where he and the police are on basically a first name basis in Memphis, Tennessee. I didn't know that was the case. So hopefully they have figured it out because he is electrifying. And it is a great thing to have on television when Ja Morant is playing. Yeah. The energy of everybody in the building is higher whenever he's in there. Let's hope he knows that and understands that there's a lot to kind of accomplish and figure out, and maybe stepping away from social media is a good first step.
Absolutely.
Maybe he is making some changes to make his life better, although it did involve a wellness check from the police.